Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
After a Rockford man is found guilty of shooting someone in the head, the killer learns how long he'll stay in prison. This isn't the first crime he's committed. A vigil is held honoring a missing Carroll County woman. The victim's family is urging anyone with information on what happened to their loved one to speak up. Public transportation expands in Rockford. RMTD says offering more times to ride will help with local workforce development. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. A Rockford man due to be released from prison in 18 years will now spend the rest of his life behind bars. Torino Jackson was sentenced to 95 years in prison. A jury convicted the 41-year-old of first-degree murder back in June. In February 2010, Jackson lured Terrence Shumati to a secluded spot on Olson Street just west of Harrison and Kishwaukee. That's when Jackson shot Shumati in the head. Police found the victim lying dead in the road. Jackson's already serving 30 years from a different case. Both sentences must be served back to back. There's still no sign of a 37-year-old woman with ties to the state line. We told you Sunday, Melissa Trumpy left work in Monticello, Wisconsin, October 26th. Family members say she was going to her boyfriend's house in Shannon, Illinois. Her car turned up abandoned in rural Freeport. Rachel Perry met up again with Melissa's family there. Rachel, what's new with the search?
Eric, Melissa Trumpy's family tells me they're feeling defeated. Today, they showed me the spot her car was found just outside Freeport. But they say it's still unclear how it got there or where she could be now.
No matter what happened to her, just help us bring her home, have a heart, think of her family.
Mandy in Bogue is pleading for answers 9 days after her sister, Melissa Trumpy, was last seen.
You're going to come back and you're going to say, okay, so...
She was too good of a person to be out here, left wherever, however. She was way too good of a person to be dealt with like that.
Family believes Melissa went to see her boyfriend in Shannon and hasn't been seen since.
That's my sister. You know our family. You sat down with us for holidays and dinners. You went on, we did things with the kids together. We were a family once.
The boyfriend was arrested the next day on unrelated charges.
If you have any heart, any soul at all for the family and her children, help us bring her home.
That is a place that you should search. It's a 20-minute, as long as it's within the 20-minute radius.
Gia Wright is the president of Missing Persons Awareness Network. She's assisting the family in searching Carroll and Stephenson County for Melissa.
This should make you angry because one of these days, one of you guys at least will have somebody that's missing. And this is what you will want for you, which means that you need to come together and reach out for one person that you don't know.
Wright tells me finding her before the winter snow is critical.
As a community, we have to be responsible for our people. She was not from here, but she went missing here.
We're getting to the point where we just want to bring her home, and we just don't know how to. Is how we feel like we're doing all we can.
Oh yeah. You can't carry the body and bend over at the same time.
Families asking anyone to come to a candlelight vigil for Melissa. That's happening tonight at 6:30 in Shannon. I'll put more information about that on our website, mystateline.com. Coming up at 6, I tried speaking with Melissa's boyfriend's family today. Their response in the next hour. Eric?
Rachel, thanks for following up on that story with us. AMC Rockford Showplace 16 creates new rules for state line teens hoping to catch a weekend movie. Friday and Saturday nights after 6. Kids 16 and under will need to be accompanied by someone 21 or older in order to watch a film. The rule goes into effect this weekend. AMC did not say what prompted the change. A little less than a month ago, a group of young adults got in a large fight in the theater lobby. It was falsely reported someone had a gun. Police did not arrest anyone. Large companies will have to have all of their employees vaccinated by January 4th. Or workers will face weekly testing. This mandate affects tens of millions of Americans who work at companies with 100 or more employees. OSHA says companies that fail to comply could face penalties of nearly $14,000 per violation. Tougher rules will apply for those who work in nursing homes, hospitals, and other facilities receiving money from Medicare and Medicaid. Those workers will not have an option for testing. They will need to be vaccinated. Rockford Mass Transit District aims to help early risers and night owls get to where they need to go a little bit easier. Starting November 29th, service expands an hour earlier and an hour later. The change affects core weekday routes and all 6 night routes. RMTD set 4 major goals to improve the system overall. That includes knocking down barriers for workers.
People need better access to workforce opportunities. By providing an extra hour of service in the morning and extending our service an hour later at night, we believe we'll be able to help people make those connections so that they can use public transportation to get to early morning shifts, and also people coming off of the late night shifts.
RMTD says more changes are on the way. The next phase targets weekend service. District administrators will announce those details early next year. Applying to Illinois colleges and universities just got a little bit easier. Students can now fill out a Common App. The single form will be accepted at all 12 public universities, plus dozens of private schools. Governor J.B. Pritzker says Common App will level the playing field for students from all economic backgrounds to get into college without having to worry about application fees. There is also financial assistance available for schools on that Common App that do charge potential students to apply. Many shoppers have already turned to the web to get a head start on Christmas gifts. That means in the coming weeks, delivery drivers will make their routes to drop off orders in time. UPS is hiring in droves for the holiday season, including right here in Rockford. Nikel Delgado reports on what the company's looking for in a candidate.
This is the biggest holiday season nationally, and this is the Thanksgiving, Christmas shopping season. And for the last few years, online shopping is the way to go.
The holiday shopping season is upon us. Like Davina McWilliams with UPS said, online shopping is booming, and they're looking for more than 1,000 people to help get all of those gifts to your home.
So we need employees to get the packages through the building, and then we need employees to help drive the packages around town so they can be delivered to the homes and businesses.
Right now, UPS is holding a hiring fair, even offering current employees $200 bonuses for referrals.
Been a lot of footwork. We've been getting a lot of traffic, people in and out. You know, it's very fast paced. We have a great team that's been on top of everything. But this is probably the biggest event we get each year that allows us to bring in candidates to work over at the UPS office.
While you'll recognize the brown trucks around town, drivers can also use their own cars and get an extra mileage rate on top of their salary, which is something that Rosalind Ball is willing to do if she's hired on.
I have a nice, SUV, so I feel very comfortable with driving my own vehicle.
Reporting in Rockford for your home team, I'm Nikel Delgado.
By now, you likely have the heat cranked up. Furnaces keep us safe and warm during winter, but if neglected, the units can be deadly. Michelle Rave joins us with some advice on how to tune up your furnace. Michelle?
The first snow of the season fell today. Just another reminder to make sure your furnace is ready for winter. One local business tells me yearly checkups can prevent you from spending more money than you need to.
There's a lot of things that can go wrong that we can find when we do maintenance early in the year.
David Goff is the owner of Goff Heating and Air Conditioning, which has been serving the state line for over 50 years. Goff says this time of year they're pretty busy.
We're almost a month out on some of our clean and checks right now because we have so many calls lined up.
Randy Bloom is one of their maintenance technicians. He says getting a routine checkup of your furnace is important.
A furnace is nothing to play around with. It can be very dangerous. There's carbon monoxide to worry about. There's fire to worry about. There's a lot of things that can affect you. With the gas prices going up, you want this to be running optimally. If it's not, then you're spending more money than you need to.
Bloom advises to listen to your furnace so you don't have problems in the dead of winter.
Hearing a noise and not knowing, and it's a different noise that the furnace usually makes, usually there is a problem. It may not show itself immediately, but it will eventually.
There's also a common mistake many people make.
They don't turn their furnace on until it's extremely cold, and then at that point there's so many people that don't have heat, it's hard for us to get out to each call. So we recommend, even before you're planning on using the furnace very much, to start it up, run it, make sure that you're not going to have any issues when it does get real cold out.
And now is the best time for a checkup.
We recommend definitely having it looked at so that if you're going to have a failure, you can find it ahead of time and not when it's 20 below zero outside.
Goff says while they've been very busy booking appointments, the sooner you do it, the better.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, it was another cool start this morning. We had a little bit of cloud cover and even a couple of flurries that came down just before sunrise. Not something that everyone saw this morning, but officially going down as our first trace of snow here in the Rockford area, and whatever did come down did not accumulate at all, except for maybe a little on your garbage can lid or on your windshield wiper blades. We had the cloud cover this morning, but starting to see those clouds begin to clear out. This means we will have a mostly clear sky here as we go through this evening. A live look with a Mercial Skytrack camera up in Beloit, Wisconsin. You know, have to say thank you to Kurt for sharing his fall photo here. This was taken along Highway 20 there as you're heading out over northwest Illinois. Once you get to that spot there between Shannon and Elizabeth, you get on that stretch of 20. Absolutely gorgeous when you can just see for miles there. Beautiful picture. The colors really coming out. Kurt, thank you so much for that photo. Sharon sending in this photo. Fall harvest, but look at this couple of sprinkles there off in the distance as the sun was setting. You've got a little bit of a rainbow there right over the truck and the combine. So thank you, Sharon, for sharing your fall photo. Again, King at WTVO.com is where you want to get those fall pictures sent in. This weekend going to be beautiful to be out and about. Today wasn't terrible. The wind made it a little chilly out there. That southerly wind, 45 currently in Rockford, 49 in Freeport. But look at that. We're in the 50s here. A sign of what's to come as we go through the day tomorrow, low 50s. Same thing on Saturday, but we continue to see that warmth here as we head into the weekend. The warmth coming up for this weekend after we've had a couple of cooler days. 40s for us here the last 3-4 days. 48 our official high. Tomorrow temperatures will still be just a smidge below average, but we see those numbers warm up here for the weekend back into the 60s and then holding in those 50s as we head into next week. Comparing this, I thought this was interesting. Last year at this time, the beginning of November started off a little on the cool end in the 50s, but look at the string of 70s we had last week during the first week to week and a half of November. Quite warm during that time. Will be just as warm, but not quite reaching that 70-degree mark. Winds are also going to pick up a bit from the southwest. Winds should for the most part stay light here as we go through this evening. Cloud cover that we had from earlier today moving out, and we'll continue to see that mostly clear sky as we go through the night tonight. This will pave the way for plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. Might just see a few high-level cirrus clouds work in as we pull in that warmer air. Now there is an area of low pressure that'll pass to our north tomorrow evening. That'll bring in a few clouds during the overnight, but that is expected to come through dry. Any precipitation with that is going to stay up to the north. Winds will still be breezy during the afternoon on Saturday, and temperatures will make it into the upper 50s on Saturday afternoon. So one more night where we have those numbers down in the 20s. 29 degrees. Clouds continue to clear. Winds will stay light from the south and southwest up to 52 for tomorrow. Actually pretty much right on par for where we should be for this time of year. Notice we'll stay in the 50s on Saturday, low 60s once we head into Sunday, Monday. Now there is a cold front that comes through on Monday night and Tuesday, so that will bring us just a slight chance for a couple of showers. We may actually begin to dry out Tuesday, Wednesday, but watching in towards the end of next week could have a bigger system that would bring us a bigger chance for rain towards the end of next week, and then possibly a cool down once again as we head into next weekend.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
Aaron Rodgers missing out on a game this weekend with COVID is only part of the problem that the Packers and he are facing. The other half is what sort of punishment might they face from the NFL? The league is investigating the fact that Rodgers violated league protocols for not following rules required of players who are unvaccinated. Rodgers was supposed to be wearing a mask at all times while inside team facilities. We know that he didn't for any of his press conferences up to this point. Who knows how many other times he didn't wear a mask indoors. Rodgers also attended a Halloween party last week with several of his teammates. Players who are not vaccinated are not allowed to gather with more than 3 teammates at any one time. Even more concerning for the Packers is the fact that Jordan Love was at that same party. These are not smart moves on anyone's part. Last year, the NFL fined the Saints and the Raiders more than $700,000 and took away their 6th-round draft picks when those teams violated protocols. It's likely here that the Packers will face similar punishment, if not harsher punishment. What's worse for the Packers is Rodgers could be suspended for a game or multiple games. I'm not here to say whether the league rules are good or bad or whether or not Rodgers or any player should be forced to mask up. But he should have been smarter in handling this, and the Packers should have been smarter. The Halloween party in itself was a really bad idea. It's a murky mess that the Packers find themselves in. Now, the upside to all this is we're going to get a chance to see what Jordan Love can do, at least for one game. The Packers need to know because at the end of the season, they'll have to make a decision on Rodgers. I thought Love was solid in the preseason, but we all know preseason games and regular season games are night and day difference. Whether Love shines or flops Sunday, we shouldn't make too much of it. You can't base a quarterback's ability on one game. If we judge Tom Brady's ability on his game last Sunday against the Saints when he threw 2 picks, we would have thought the guy was nothing special. The same with Aaron Rodgers' performance in the Packers opener against the Saints. One quick thought on James Robinson. He's listed by the Jaguars as questionable for Sunday with his bruised heel. I'm sure Robinson wants to play, but if I'm the coaches, I let him sit. Why risk aggravating that injury, which could cause Robinson to miss more time? Hey, you're 1-6. You're not going anywhere, and it's not likely that you're going to beat the Bills on Sunday. That's my take. We'll be right back.
Candace will have a final weather check in a minute. First, here's your nightly News Nation preview.
A $500,000 payout to illegal immigrants. Was President Biden telling the truth when he said no chance? And we'll introduce you to the parents with a war chest dedicated to getting Republicans on school boards. That's On Balance. Now here's a look at Dan Abrams Live.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. New Jersey's governor squeaks by, but the polls said he had a major lead. What has happened to polling in America? That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
That's what's planned later on the fastest growing cable news network in America. Here's the list of cable and satellite stations where you can catch News Nation. There's also newsnation.com. So flakes this morning.
Yeah, just a couple of them.
Did you see them?
I was asleep.
So if you didn't see them, did it really happen? It's like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody is there to hear it, did it really make a noise?
Yeah, no, there were a couple of flurries out there. I know that there were, and there were some people.
Some of us are just in denial.
But you know what, though? I mean, it's the beginning of November. They didn't stick around. Just a couple of those. Nothing here for tonight. Clear skies will take us into the weekend. In fact, temperatures will be warming into the 60s by next week.
You are very glass half full today.
You gotta be.
Thanks for watching. Stay safe.